Alright, so this arena run shows off an absolutely crazy toy team that I ran into a bunch of times in arena and thought I would just steal it and then try it out for myself. And it turns out, yeah, it's actually super good. I didn't really think about it before, but it uses one of the pets that you rarely see. And to be honest, I actually completely forget the name of it that I should definitely know. It'll come up though on tier 2, and then I'll tell you the name of it. But then it also involves using Flying Squirrel. I'm talking about the pet that when it faints, it breaks the toy that you have at it's at tier 2 or lower, and then it's at tier 4 or lower, and then it's at tier 6 or lower. So yeah, it so if there's an ability where it's like balloon or something where it gives like the frontmost friend +1/+1, if that breaks then it actually activates in battle. But there's a lot better in the late game. There's the tier 4 one that gives melon armor, the tier 5 one that gives +6/+6, and the tier 6 one that gives +2/+2 to everything. So those things can actually be activated in battle, and then you can start to really get crazy when you add in Puma, which doubles that ability. And then, yeah, so you'll get double, and then if you go like double Puma, you could get like triple. And then there's also another pet where when a friendly toy breaks, it gives adjacent pets +3/+3. So I'm going to be using all of those pets. I don't know the names of them, and I really should know, but yeah, you can see what is it called? It's like a monkey thing. I should have paid attention to see what it was actually named, but it is weird because it's not very helpful right now. Like even the tier 2 toy of like give everything 1 HP is so minimal that it's probably not going to make too much of a difference. But once you start getting later on, which does require, it's a Mandrill, that's what it is. Okay. Once you get to the later on things and you have like a level 3 Mandrill, it really does get pretty nice. Just a whole bunch of extra stats. But the test server has been just a lot of fun to experiment with. I can't wait until it comes out to the main game because there's a whole bunch of tournaments that are also going on, and I think it's really going to shake up the meta so much. And right now, the meta of like lotto strats in Pack 2, where you like save all your tier ups for turn 5, and then it's just so much RNG depending on what you get, is not a ton of fun. So I think this will be much more fun. A lot more decision making when you have to level things up. You got the toys, which is more decision making. Usually the more decisions, I guess, like the more complex and the more, I guess, like individual people can play differently, I guess is cool. And yeah, so that will be interesting to see who excels in the tournaments. And also like the team tournament is still going on. So the fact that the update's going to come in the middle of that is really going to mix things up as well. I think it's really going to benefit the people who are quite active. So I think that would be good for our team. But right now, the oven mitt, unfortunately, can't really be broken, so it doesn't really synergize too well with the tier 3 toys. But once we start getting to the tier 4s, then we'll have some potential to actually use this guy. And wait for the level up, maybe try to get a early tier 5. Waiting for level ups is even better than ever, because you get the options. I mean, there's a really good chance that you actually get something useful. And they've also been balancing the game pretty well, where it feels like decently balanced, where there's not too many pets that are just like never takes. Like they tried to buff a lot of those that were really bad before. So yeah, I mean the game's in a great spot. The devs are doing a good job, I would say. Get a free mango, go ahead and buff the Mandrill. The only problem is that it has to faint in order for this to actually work, which means that the buff can't go on itself. But there's the Mossasaurus, and that is what I'm going to be looking for. I do need to find a toy, but hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. Just going to keep rolling. I'm sure the Godrill thing will come eventually. And, okay, maybe not this turn, but maybe next turn. You never know. In the meantime, I'm still been watching the NBA playoffs. The Nuggets are up 2-0 over the Suns. The Suns were like considered to be such a top team, and even though the Nuggets are the number 1 seed, and they've never reached the NBA Finals, which is crazy. So this could be the first year that they actually do it. Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. 2-0 is not like an insane lead because you open up with 2 home games, so you have the home game advantage. Now you have like 2 away games, so but if they win the next one, it kind of puts them in like now the Suns have to win the next game, otherwise they go down 3-0, and no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. Although there's been a bunch of game 7s, so I figure it's bound to happen eventually. But for now, we'll just say it's impossible. There have been plenty of reverse 3-0s, reverse 4-0s really, and SAP, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. It does happen. Anyway, it's a little unfortunate that on the test server right now, you can't actually play the Star Pack or the Golden Pack or use any of the custom stuff to make your own custom packs. I mean, maybe it's understandable that they don't want people to just like be playing those for free, but it does mean that like experimenting is a little bit harder on this main game, but we'll just have to wait until the full release. Also, I maybe should bring up like maybe some changes that people overlooked, but there were some hard mode changes. They tried to balance a lot of the stuff. They made some of the super OP ones like Action Figure and Boomerang a little bit not insane, and then they changed. So a lot of the summon ones got buffed. So like the duck is a 2/3 or is a 3/3. The ants are like 4/2s. Kangaroos like an 8/8. So they made those ones a little bit harder. So hopefully it's a little more balanced, a little more fun. That will, I don't know. I already got all the hard mode ribbons, but I do need to get the new pets, so I guess that'll be fun to try out. But anyway, the build is finally getting off the ground, because now we have Stingray, and there's level 3 Mandrill, which means it will actually activate in battle. And I'll go ahead and get the Mosasaurus level up, because that's a solid +6/+6 to adjacent pets. That is really nice, and the Flying Squirrel Mosasaurus is just really beautiful to have. And I'm going to go ahead and double sell because now the friendly toy will repeat again. And that works both in battle and in the shop. So instead of +6/+6, we're getting +12/+12. And then we get +12/+12 from the Mosasaurus. And you can see how this scaling is kind of getting out of control. The skewer, interestingly enough, still like the splash. You can avoid the splash with the second spots, but I still get hit by the skewer because I guess it does 2 spots. But here we go. So +12/+12. And then another +6/+6. So a total of +18/+18 to the Mandrill that turn. And the one attack on the Flying Squirrel. Don't want to forget about that. Really amazing. And honestly, so I should probably actually move the Mosasaurus back one, because once it breaks, it gives adjacent pets. And right now, there's no adjacent pet because the thing in front just dies. So that's actually just bad positioning by me. That's my bad. I did not notice this until much later. But going for level 3 Mosasaurus, why not? And yeah, so the great thing about having Flying Squirrel is that you don't need to buy any more toys, because this one's just going to constantly refresh. And yeah, the flashlight's pretty good. So in theory, the television would be slightly better. It's like 2 more stats or 2 more. But oh, the Hopo bird actually doing something. And wow, the Dolphins actually get a draw. Okay, still at 7 wins. And time for double Puma. And I can also get level 3 Mosasaurus. Go ahead and take a melon. Sure. Okay. Not going to get the level 3. Do I change the positioning? I do not. One of these days, I'll change the positioning. I promise. And then I won't miss out on +6/+6. But I don't even know if I should keep the Mandrill in front, because it's going to get so many stats from this flashlight. It's going to be kind of insane. Because it gets +6/+6 3 times. So it gets 18/18. And then it also gets 6/6. So it gets 24/24. That's a bit overkill. Yeah, way over 50. A little bit of wasted stats there. That's my bad. But luckily then I noticed. So it's once you make mistakes, that's when you notice. And you learn from it, right? Surely that's how the brain works. Or like you make that mistake like 15 times. And then eventually your brain learns from it. Just kind of depends, you know? But already on 8 wins. And yeah, look, this team is pretty much very similar. They have a gecko, but that's not going to be super helpful late game. Instead, my team is just much cooler. And now +9/+9 from the Mosasaurus. Plus I get, yeah, so is it 18/18? And then once I actually level up the Puma. So I was thinking about buying Mongoose, but I don't think that's really any better. Because, I don't know, just getting the concentrated stats on one pet that has Melon I think is more important. And since I'm on 9 wins, I could actually sell the Flying Squirrel and go for another Puma. And that's another 6/6. But just in case I lost this round, I wanted to have Flying Squirrel for one more round. And I can get Melon. And yeah, this squad, I mean, you just get so many stats. It's really interesting and very good, apparently. The caterpillar or the butterfly is a 50/50, but look at those stats. It gets to 50/50. I don't even know what it was to begin with, but man, that was so fast. It was 20/20 all the way to 50/50, and there's just a solid 10 wins. I was thinking maybe I could go another level 3 Mandrill, but that would be very ambitious and hard to get. But still a really fun team, and thanks for watching. See ya.